Once upon a time, in the heart of a sun-dappled forest lived a young lion. His name was Leo, which means brave. But no one called him Leo. No one ever had, because he was too busy being laughed at. You see, Leo's coat was covered in tiny star-shaped freckles, and the other animals thought they were hilarious. They called him Spot and said his messy constellation looked more like a leopard had vomited on him. Spot tried scrubbing his fur with leaves, but that just made the freckles darker. So he spent his days hiding in the deepest shadows and his nights drinking from the watering holes so the other animals couldn't see him. One day, a quick-witted fox noticed how sad Spot had become. "Why are you always in the shadows, little lion?" she asked. Spot sighed. "Because I'm too scared to let the other animals see my freckles." The fox thought for a moment. "I have an idea," she said with a sly grin. "Let's go play in the berry bushes. I'll show you how much fun it is to be red with freckles." Spot hesitated, then followed the fox into the bushes. But before they knew it, she had spilled her berry juice all over him. "Oh, no!" she cried. "You look even more freckled than before." Spot took off running, deeper into the forest than he had ever been. And that's when he heard a voice. "Little lion, why do you run?" Spot jumped. He had not heard the voice before. It came from an ancient tortoise whose moss-covered shells glistened in the sunlight. "My freckles, they're too weird," Spot whispered. The tortoise smiled. "Weird? No, your freckles aren't flaws. They're a map to the stars." Spot didn't understand, but before he could ask what she meant, the forest around them began to glow. The light came from the freckles. They were responding to something deep inside of him, some hidden courage that only the forest could see. "Be brave, little lion, and the forest will show you the way." With that, the tortoise closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep. Spot was left alone in the flickering light, feeling braver than he had ever felt before. Suddenly, a storm swept through the forest, flooding everything in sight. Spot could hear the other animals crying out for help. He knew he had to do something, so he stepped into the swirling water and closed his eyes. In that moment of bravery, his freckles glowed silver and a celestial pattern formed across his back. It was a map, just like the tortoise had said. Guiding him, he led the animals through the flooded forest to a hidden cave they had never seen before. One by one, they made it out of the forest alive. When the sun finally peeked through the clouds, Spot's bullies approached him, their faces full of shame. "We're sorry we laughed at you, Spot," the spotted hyena said. "Your freckles aren't weird. They're magic." And from that day on, the animals called him Leo, the brave, using his freckles to navigate every storm and help any lost cubs find their way home.